On this video, I want to share with you some useful tips when working with laminated finishes for your projects. In particular, I want to share a really fantastic router bit that I found that will make it super easy to get that perfect flush finish every time. All the videos I found on YouTube tell me to use a flush trim bit with a bearing at the tip. I found these to be very problematic. I started with these cheap flush trim bits from China. As you can see, the bearings quickly gave way after a couple of uses. Next, I upgraded to a branded flush trim bit. This is a much better quality bit, but you can see that glue sticking to the bearing is a problem. This bearing isn't going to last much longer without extensive cleaning. What I want to show you now is this router bit with a triangle at the tip. This is an awesome tool as you no longer need to worry about glue jamming up the bearing. I will show you the bit in action shortly. I have the bit installed on my Makita handheld trimmer secured to an inexpensive jet router table. With the table, it saves me a lot of time as I don't have to clamp the workpiece down and turn it to get to all sides. So these are my workpieces for a shoe cabinet I'm building. They've been cut to size and pocket holes already drilled. There's a lot of videos on using contact cement to stick on the laminate, so I'm going to skip showing you that step as it's pretty much standard. I've left a bit of overhang when cutting the laminate, and now I'm going to show you how I trim it off. The thing I love about the triangle bit is that it's very easy to run the board along it because it's stationary. Also, the main advantage is that you don't have to worry about glue jamming up the bearing and then burning your workpiece from the friction of the bearing. With this setup, it takes me a minute or less to trim each panel. So the frayed bits you see on the edge of this laminate is the protective cover of the laminate. I prefer to keep the plastic on when I trim because I'm sliding the finished surface on the router table. It will protect from light scratches and also helps to keep the glue off the finished surface, which means less time spent on cleaning and polishing afterwards. So the last step after putting on the edge banding is to peel off the protective cover. And there you have it, a fully finished piece of furniture using laminate. I hope you found this tip helpful, and if you want to get the router bit, there's an affiliate link on the description of this video which helps me out if you use it. Here's some bonus video footage I shot of how I cut my laminate to size. I get these 4x8 sheets of laminate in rolls. It helps to have a large work table to work with the laminate. These things are pretty fragile and it will crack if bent too much. Basically, I just lay the workpiece I want to cover right on top of the laminate. I then use a Sharpie and just mark around the edge, giving me about a 1/4 inch or so as a buffer to be trimmed off. This is another great tool for working with large sheets of laminate. It's a laminate cutter. On smaller sheets, I would just cut them on my table saw, but with large sheets, this can be tricky. With the laminate cutter, I just cut it like I would a piece of paper. The cut width is about the same size as the Sharpie line, so once cut, it's pretty much the exact size I want. This means less wastage and more precise laminate cuts for gluing. I hope you found these tips helpful, and all the tools I mentioned are in the description of this video. Thanks for watching.